Hey, Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us back on Vegas Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. I'm Trish Williams.
And I'm Tiana Carroll. Thank you again for joining us this week. And if you haven't yet, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to not only our channel or download our podcast on anywhere you get your podcast from. We really appreciate the support that you guys give us. And today is an exciting day because we have everything guest home that we are talking about. So, or not guest house, vacation home. As we close off summer and come into fall, we are now talking about vacation homes and second homes. So we have a very special guest with us today. We have Cindy Hallas.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. She is with CMG Financial, and so she's a loan officer, so she's exactly who we need to talk to about getting a second home or a vacation home. Before we jump into that, though, Cindy, we always do numbers at the beginning of the show, kind of tell a little bit about what our stock is like in Vegas. So, Trish, what do we got this week?
Single family inventory, we're still very low, 3656 single family homes on the market. And let me tell you a little bit about that because I've been out shopping with buyers.
So a weird market, right?
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
I've been out with buyers and we've been like shopping and decent price points.
Price points.
Not luxury, not starter homes, but just that like real good mid-range price point.
Yep.
There's nothing there. And what's there is just not like stunning, but that's all there is to choose from. So
right. It's the options we have now.
The options we have now suck. I mean, they don't all suck.
Tell us how you really feel,
there's some beautiful homes on the market, but it's just the lack of options that we have right now is very discouraging. So, my buyers were looking and, we're looking at these different homes that are available and they're like, wow, I feel so let down because there's nothing. I thought there was going to be better homes. And I'm like, no, there is. The price range you're in is realistic to find the home that you want. It's just not on the market yet.
Right.
We just got to wait, go find listings. This is for, listing agents. We go out there, we got to find some listings and get them on the market because these buyers don't have a lot to choose from right now.
Yeah, the buyers don't have a lot to choose from right now. And so technically we're a seller's market, right? Because we have low inventory. But are you seeing, because I'm seeing it, I'm seeing weird things in a seller's market that I haven't seen before, like concessions.
Yeah, we're getting concessions again, but you have to keep in mind the rates are so high right now. So high right now. And these buyers are paying so much money. Their payments, everything is costing so much right now that these concessions, that's how, even with the low inventory, that's how they're moving homes. And this low inventory is the only thing that's held our market from going down, from decreasing because the prices haven't decreased because there's not a lot of inventory to choose from. So the buyers just have to take what's there.
Yeah.
But that is, I mean, it's kind of a great thing for the fact that it's held our prices stable and holding our market stable. But yeah, it's we are seeing things like sellers paying closing costs and doing things like that with the homes that are there.
Market.
In a seller's market. Yeah, we're in a weird time,
It
right?
is so bizarre. It is so bizarre.
And I'm seeing not just the 1% seller concession, but full 2-3% concessions. That's
no, it's really
crazy.
Happening. And it all sort of came on quick again, like within the past few weeks. It's been really...
Yeah.
And I feel like once we're in a contract, both the seller and the buyers are doing everything they can to keep that contract going.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
because the buyers are looking for anything to get out. Like the council, they're like, oh, this is a bad sign. I'm out of here. But yeah.
There's a new moon in Virgo. I got to cancel.
Yeah, it's just because of the cost, the fees, everything, and everyone's just nervous. It's a really weird market. And I even had an entry level, one of those entry level homes, a townhouse, good price, under $300,000. Just one of those first time home buyer options, right? Those usually have so much activity that there's no concessions, that are offered on those because they're cheap.
Just flying off the
shelf. They're flying off the shelves. We got a few offers. I mean, we had a few offers on it, and they were all asking for concessions. I was that was surprising to me. I'm like, wow, it's kind of becoming.
I think the buyers are just beat up right now because they're paying. They're at the
agree.
sort of brute end of that interest rate. And then we have these sort of almost to the point where we're unaffordable in our housing that it's just they're really just being raked over the coals. So like, please give me something. I'm not even getting the dream house I want. I'm getting a house that's okay-ish.
Well, we've always said that when rates are high, prices will come down.
Yeah.
But we're in a spot where prices didn't really come down and the rates are still high. So it's like, yeah, the buyers aren't getting the best deal right now. But we are. This is something to keep in mind too, buyers out there. We are seeing so many signs that the market's going to continue increasing. So that's, right now it might not be the best looking scenario for you, but you do want to get in before those prices get higher.
Yeah, you don't want to wait yourself out of the market. How many people did you talk to at 20 when the pandemic, and they're like, we're going to wait for the market to crash, and now home prices have gone up like 27% or something, and they can't get into the market now.
Yeah.
And the rates have tripled.
And they're literally tripled. Can you believe we're saying that?
We're asking first-time home buyers to purchase at what, 400,000 at 7.5%, 8%.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
So we do need those concessions to give that just small, even if it's the smallest glimmer of hope.
Yeah,
Agreed.
or even the rate buy downs. Those 3-1 buy downs and 2-1 buy downs are very helpful to relieve it. Hopefully the rates will drop by the time those buy downs expire. But there are options out there. It's just you gotta work with it. You got to work with what
you do have to work
got.
it, but properties are still moving.
Yep.
I mean, last week we ended up selling 353 homes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're staying pretty consistent between that 350 and 400 selling each week.
Yeah. We did, speaking of prices going up or down or whatever you want to call it, we did see some price decreases.
We did. We're close to 500 this week. 491, 97.
91, 491. Yeah, my script.
I can't read your writing.
My writing's so sloppy. Sorry, but 491. But yeah, prices people are doing price decreases. That's why we're seeing those concessions and things too. Even though inventory is low and we have like a good solid, the homes are pretty much selling within 30, 60, or 90 days. In most cases.
Yeah, we're still moving pretty quick.
There's still some little extra that's needed, whether it's concessions or a little decrease in price or something like that. They're not just that people aren't lined up the doors anymore trying to get them.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
What do you think is motivating sellers to sell? Because I see a lot of current sellers with the really low interest rates, and those are the ones holding on.
Yeah. I had an appointment with someone the other day, and it was this conversation, and it's a hard one because they're like,
hard one.
Yeah, they're like, I have a 2% rate. I want to move, but this doesn't make sense.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to do this, to go for a higher price, even with all the equity and everything. It just doesn't make sense. And, and it just comes down to, and I told them just honestly, like, I'm not going to talk you into something that doesn't financially make sense to you or you can't wrap your head around. I'm not here to talk you into that. But let's go back to the reason why you want to move. Right. Like,
where's the
quality,
motivation?
Yeah, if quality of life is an issue, and it was like, the commute to take the kids to school was like almost an hour every day. Like there's a lot of other factors, and sometimes people just have to move. They don't fit in their homes anymore. And if you can afford the payment, it's some people will just do it, and rates hopefully will come down in the future and they can refinance and get some relief. I'm hoping to. But
I think everybody is. Everybody's like, can we get a little bit of a reprieve from these high prices?
I feel like the last 12 months, the market has been on menopause.
Yes.
Like every time we get a little glimmer of a dip in the rate, we're like, oh, finally, and then boom, they go back up. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? It's
right, right.
crazy.
And people are.
Well, there's supposed to be one more hike, at least by the Fed, before the end of the year.
Can we fire them?
I know. Who's in charge there? Oh my gosh.
Vote them out.
Fed.
I don't know. Can we
How
vote
do we
on
do
them?
that?
I don't know. But
Another private bank.
yeah. But the other thing, we seen back in 2008, 2009, when the market started crashing, people were trapped in their homes.
Oh yeah.
They were trapped in their homes because they were upside down. They couldn't sell. They couldn't do anything. They were just stuck, right?
Yeah.
we're seeing that again. It's just a whole different reason why they're stuck in their homes. But because of rates are preventing them from wanting to move or being able to move. They have the equity. They're not upside down, but there's still so many people that are trapped because they just can't wrap their head around this rate change, you know, going from a 2% to a 7%.
Right.
Yeah, and the price change. It's just hard to make that make sense. And I get it, you know, but there are still people out there that they have to move. They have to. So, and back when people were trapped in their homes, that's where there was short sales or things that some people paid to get out of their homes. There were still people that had to move. Yeah. They didn't have an option there. So
the only other options, renting. So you're going to pay a mortgage. Whose mortgage are you paying? And that's the challenge.
And rent is high.
Rent is awful.
I know.
That's awful.
You're paying a lot for someone else's mortgage right now.
Yeah.
So
with no security, especially in this city, it is not renter friendly. 30 days. Bye.
Well, and you guys have what they call more transplant than any other city in the world.
Yeah.
We literally run into people from all over the world here, and that's what's cool. I love people watching here. That's my favorite thing about coming here and working here. But yes, I mean, we're going to meet every type of person on the walk of this planet here in Vegas. I love it.
Yeah. Well, Vegas is still a vacation hotspot, which brings us into our topic today about how to buy vacation homes. Whether you're in Vegas or if you're in Vegas and you want a vacation home somewhere else, we're going to talk all about vacation homes, right?
Yep.
So, Cindy, before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Ooh, wow, how exciting. Talking about yourself, right? Well, I've been in the industry for 25 years. I started when I was 5.
Yep.
So,
5. Okay.
She's young, talented, gifted.
Kindergarten mortgage course.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, I started 25 years ago. I've been in the industry, and really, truly, my passion is educating with like credit and finances, and then, of course, just education in general, because I think, unfortunately, the mass media only presents and releases information for agenda purposes. So I want to give as many people the right information and all the information so that they understand what the options are and they can choose which one's best for them. And that's really empowering them with education so that they can make that decision and feel confident with it.
Yeah, that's that's great. And I've gone to classes that you've taught before, so you're a very good educator.
That is the facts.
Very
and if you're a
informational.
realtor in Vegas, you have taken Cindy's classes at one point or another because you are awesome with the CE.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
have continued education classes we have to take, and we have a certain amount of hours we have to spend in these classes. And I'm always like, oh, this is horrible if we have a bad instructor, you know, because you're stuck. You have to take it.
3 hours.
You can't use your phone.
Can't use your phone. No. But if we have, when we have a good instructor that actually you can tune in and like just be connected during the class, you know, it's interactive. It's so much better for us.
Yep.
So we appreciate that.
Why make a class worse than it has to be?
I know.
We try to have a lot of fun, but really give up-to-date information and just maybe little secret nuggets here and there to help grow your business and also help educate your clients. Because I always feel like if you guys as agents learn something new in my class, you're going to be like, whoa, cool.
Yeah.
And our time is valuable, and it's like spending, so many hours in the class. You don't want to walk away like, wow, that was a waste of my time. It's like you want to get something from it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we have to get the certificate. It's a requirement, but but it's still it frustrates me when there's no
I
value.
hold those hostage. I'm like, okay, did you like the class or did you not like? Do you have some good feedback? I mean, I'm all for.
You're like, you don't get the
anything.
certificate unless I get a 5-star review on Yelp.
5-star review. No, but the insight and the feedback is really important for me because I want to make sure I'm on the right track and giving you guys the right information. I'm constantly researching and trying to update the data, the content, and making it relevant to this market. And
Right,
that's really
because
hard
markets
right
shift
now.
all the time.
This market is shifting daily.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a bipolar market.
Yes.
And it has been for a while. Feels like
It
a year
feels like,
and a half.
about
We've seen every market.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. So Cindy, we're talking vacation homes today. So let's just start with the basics. You own a home right now. If you own a home right now out there, and you would like to have another home in another spot. Some people think that would be considered an investment property where you have to do the 25-30% down, down payment, and you have to buy it as an investment. But there's another option out there called vacation homes.
Yep.
How does that work?
So it is called vacation home or a second home.
Second home. Okay.
Either one. And 2 years ago, we can buy it with the same interest rate as the primary. It just had different tax, consequences or requirements or benefits. But because you're not renting it out, you have the same benefits, So now, unfortunately, because there's so many vacation homes and rentals, and it was hard to distinguish one from another.
Airbnbs.
Right.
Yeah.
So the investors really want to encourage right now to help the primary buyers to have a chance, a fighting chance, if you will, to get some financing. So a second home is not like the investment property where it requires 20% down, 25, even 30 to avoid all those discount
Fees.
points.
Yeah.
Right. Second home actually only requires 10% down.
Yeah.
So that's nice. It's
That's
10%.
amazing. It makes it easier to purchase one.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. We can go conventional. 10% does have PMI, that private mortgage insurance. I know, bad word. But you have the option of only 10% down, which is so nice.
Yeah.
If you're, let me see, I don't want to age discriminate here, but typically and traditionally, if we're Gen X's or baby boomers, we're kind of in that mindset we need 20% down to buy a house, but that's not true.
Yeah.
We actually only need 10% down for a vacation home or second home. We actually have a really unique product. It's a private label security loan.
Okay.
We sell directly to Wall Street. So on a conventional loan, 10% down still requires a lot of discount points up front.
Yeah.
And that private mortgage insurance. But our investor has eliminated those discount points. And we're talking
That is a good nugget of information.
Yeah, wow. Because that's a big deal. I know when I
is
bought my
huge.
vacation home, it was the points on it were insane, and I was questioning the lender, like, what is this? And I was like, I want one without those, and he was like, there's no such thing.
I'd like to return this one and get one without points, please.
Yes. Can I renegotiate this? Or I'm going to counter offer this one, right?
Yeah, just for your information, discount points is not a discount. Those are extra fees that they just put a nice little name on them.
So discount point is basically any percentage of that you are charged to pay under for an interest rate. What we call a par or a break-even rate for a conventional loan on a primary might be 7%. For a second home, it might be 7.5 or even 8%. But because of the market, we don't have any investors on Wall Street purchasing homes above that 7.5 or 8%. That rate is at that cap. And so there's no room for the investors to actually make the money, so they charge it up front. So that 8% comes with a 2% discount point. Conversely, and in a regular normal market, if it was 7%, they can use discount points to buy down the rate and lower the rate to maybe 6.5.
Wow.
Or 6, but that's a discount point to get the rate lower. But again, because the market is so high, the interest rates are capped, then that means it's an out-of-pocket fee just to get that rate. So traditionally, it's 2 to 3% on a second home, and that's 2 to 3% of the loan amount.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a 500 plus, because second home, we're not usually in a smaller price point. So 500,000, for example, 2 points would be $10,000,
and that's cash out of pocket. You got to come
and
up
that's
with.
in addition to all the other closing costs.
Yeah, so
know,
that
I
can
know.
can get hefty. But you guys have a way of doing this without those discount points.
Yes, so we have the
Beautiful.
private label security. It is an investor that we actually sell directly on Wall Street.
That's amazing.
It follows the Fannie Mae guidelines, but just somehow we eliminate those discount points, which is awesome.
That's
So
amazing.
We are doing a lot of those loans for both the second home and investment property, which is pretty nice.
That's amazing. So if you have a vacation home, and say you have a home in Florida, vacation home, right? And you use it for your personal vacation. Are you allowed to do like a vacation rental on that as well?
Like when you're
in
not there?
between when you're not there?
Sure. And really, that question is going to be extended to depending on what neighborhood association, homeowners
Oh, of course,
association.
the rules of the city.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's
yeah.
put that out there, especially Florida, since you mentioned Florida. But
I don't even know Florida's rules. I
No,
just
but
threw
they
out
have-
a place.
It's a place on the map.
right. Florida is kind of like Vegas. You guys are really crazy with HOAs, not just one HOA, but maybe two, and
Sometimes
maybe
you
even
got three.
I'm like, what
Yeah,
is
we
going
do
on
love
here?
a good HOA in this
Right.
town.
So Florida's is similar. So you want to know what the rules are there as far as that. But as far as for financing and tax purposes, second home, the definition of second home is when you go there, if you stay there and you're in that place, then that's going to qualify.
Yeah.
If you're renting it out, obviously, all year round, that's a rental home.
Yeah, but
That's
if
an
you're
investment property. That's something different.
so
Yes.
if you're never staying there, obviously that's
Right.
just an investment property. But if you do go there like once a month or
Yeah.
once every couple months, then you're okay.
Yep.
You're within.
I have my
within
condo
reason.
here. That's
Yeah.
my second home. And I mean, you guys bring me back every month and
Yeah.
absolutely love it. But I was so tired of the hotels. And by the way, I mean, once you live here, don't you want to live as far away from the strip as possible?
Yes, I don't even know what the strip looks like. Every once in a while, I'll go down there for something. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's there, and they're like, that's been there for years. Like,
I
haven't seen
know,
it.
I know. So I know
I am
Vegas.
not that person. I love Vegas, even the
Hey,
strip.
you know, that's awesome. But for me, I'm kind of like a quiet person. I like to keep to myself. So, like literally the moment I got my condo, I was like, oh, I just felt at peace. And it truly is a second home for me because I come here every month. I can just leave stuff here. I don't have to worry about it. And having a vacation home is fantastic. I knew a really good loan officer got me a good interest rate at like 2.75%.
I know it, girl.
I know. So if you need someone, right? But I love it, you know. So that option, and I had the option to have with a lower down payment, really good interest rate, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, and you can put all your stuff, when you pack like your toothbrushes and like all this stuff every time you have to go on vacation, you have to bring like this whole kit, with you. But when you have a vacation home, it's like everything's there. You can pack light and just go. It's awesome.
Yeah, the other
awesome.
thing, okay, can I tell you something really funny? Okay, so I have this rule in our household. This is a really cruel rule for women. So every time I buy a pair of shoes, I have to throw one away.
Oh yeah, I
But-
have that rule too.
This condo, he doesn't know about the shoes in the condo.
It's a really good shoe storage.
Right? I'm dropping this bag of shoes off at the Goodwill. Wink, wink.
Right.
Not driving it to Vegas and stashing them.
And, this condo has a very big primary closet, right?
Yeah.
And so it fits quite a bit of pair of shoes.
Yay.
I had a
He'll
client-
never know.
No?
I had a client last year that had a vacation home here in Vegas. She lived with her family in California. She was an elderly woman, and she had moved in with her daughters, and her daughters were making her get rid of stuff. And apparently, every time they were making her get rid of stuff, she would pack it all in her car and go visit her Vegas vacation home. So when we put the home, when we're getting the home ready for sale, she comes down with her daughters, and her daughter like walks in, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is everything I made her get rid of."
See?
Well, it had a home.
Yeah. And it was
Their
her
stuff, man.
second home.
So yeah, and every time they tell her to get stuff out, she'd take a trip to Vegas, and,
Yeah.
and there it went.
So we didn't even know there was going to be a little hoarder hack on today's episode. Like,
Just
listen,
shoes. Just shoes.
Hey, we all have our vices.
Yes, yeah.
Now we can store our stuff in a second home and nobody will know.
Yeah, hey, there's
What he does not see daily, he doesn't have to know about.
exactly.
That's funny.
Exactly.
Well, I have to say, I do always like your shoes, so I think
Thank
you're doing
you.
You have
great.
great shoes.
Yeah, you do have great shoes.
So if you have one vacation home, so let's go back to Florida and just for purposes,
Okay,
whatever.
what do you got?
Say I have a vacation home in Florida, and I bought this home 10% down as a vacation home, and I use the vacation home mortgage and all that, and that's good. If I want another one, can I buy more than one?
You can, absolutely.
What's the criteria?
It's the same criteria. So you can do 10% down. You have the same tax benefits. Of course, obviously, consult your accountant about all that stuff. But the interest rates are the same. You get the same interest rate because it's a vacation home. If
Wow.
it's truly not a rental property, and I know several people, repeat clients that come back. I'm going to buy another property here. I'm buying this property, and there's no necessarily limit. For
Okay.
conventional financing, it's up to 10 homes,
Yeah.
generally speaking, but it doesn't say they all have to be a primary and then one second home and then the rest investment. So,
Right.
yeah.
So here's a hack, people. I'm just going to say this. So
Like, I'm
you
throwing
can
this
have
out
a
there.
vacation home. You can rent this vacation home out while you're not using it,
While
as
you're
long
not
as
there.
you are using it.
Yep.
And make a little bit of income on it, and you can have more than one.
Yep.
Why not have a vacation home in everywhere that you want to travel? Like
Right.
that would make perfect sense,
Yeah,
right?
especially in places that you really
Go to a lot.
love. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and it pays for itself. If you're getting any income on it, you'll probably be paying for itself, or at least paying some of it, so it
Yeah.
doesn't even cost that much.
Yeah.
And that's just a great plan. Now, do they have to be a certain distance from your primary residence, and they have to be a certain distance from each other, right?
Nope, not necessarily from each other.
Really?
It's typically the rules start at 50 miles, but I live in Arizona, and 50 miles means nothing to us because we're so spread out.
Yeah.
So it has to just make sense, one. But two, typically it's like either 50 miles or outside of the county, like in Arizona. Here it would probably be just outside of the county. And it just needs to make sense for some reason. If your house is in Henderson, but your, job is way north, that might make sense for
Okay.
underwriting. Hey, I'm staying here at this house, Monday through Thursday. I have the option to work from home on Friday and be home with my family, but I need this job, to make a living, and there's no other option really for me. That might make sense, and then having a second home right next to that again, I think it's the same kind of like parameter. You'd want to have about 50 miles from it, but yeah, it just needs to make sense. I mean, for us, really, if you want to say being creative financially, we just have to propose the picture or the story to
It has to make
underwriting.
sense.
Yeah, and if it doesn't make sense, then no one's going to buy it. And by the way, no one's going to commit loan fraud
Yeah.
for one transaction to lose their license
Right.
and career.
Yeah.
So
and that's us as realtors too. Sometimes people will ask stuff of us, and I'm like, no, I have a career. Like,
you're so important. I'm willing to risk my entire career for
Yeah,
this.
my
Like,
livelihood,
no.
it's fine. It'll be fine. I'll do
there's no
something else when I
dollar
grow.
amount on that.
Right.
Like,
So,
I'm not going to do that.
When
yeah.
I hear, I want to buy a rental, and then like, oh no, wait, no, this is going to be a second home. Well, have you ever visited Vegas? Well, no. Are you ever going to? No. Okay, so let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, by the way, if you're ever selected, I shall say,
Yeah.
for an IRS audit, you don't want to go there.
You don't.
You really
yeah. You have to. I mean, in anything that you do, whether
Yeah.
you're purchasing real estate, purchasing everything, make sure you have documentation to back what you're doing.
Sure.
I mean, that for my vacation home, I write down my mileage every time I go out there, and I write down the dates so that if I'm ever questioned, is this a vacation home, they could see that I'm actually was there this day. And
You could get
We-
Mile IQ. There's an app for that. You could just be like,
I just like to write stuff down.
okay.
Just visual.
Yeah,
Very
very
visual.
visual.
I know she's got her notebook.
I know, I
my
love
notebook.
it. I've been having my eye on that for
Oh,
couple years, actually.
We're talking about the remarkable.
Yes, you can put 1,000. If you guys can send me one, if you want remarkable, you can send me another one because I'm promoting you now. But you can you can put like 1,000 notebooks in one tablet.
Yeah.
and it doesn't connect to the internet. So like when you're for me, I get distracted easily. If I'm on an iPad, I'm writing notes, and then like a notification pops up, I'm distracted. I go off to something else, and I forget what I was doing. This has no distractions. There's no browser,
And
so
so-
you do. what you need to do.
I
And you
like
can
that.
email it to
See,
yourself.
that's
and-
the part that I don't like. I'd be like, it's perfect, except there's no browser.
yeah, no, that's the great thing about it.
Yeah, black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
right,
yeah, black and white, just like notepaper, just write on it. It's awesome.
Nice.
Okay, before
There's my promo.
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah,
So-
send us free stuff.
Yeah, so remarkable. Send everybody a notebook. Make me a believer.
I'll take one.
Cindy's like, all right, as long as we're ordering them, send one to everybody.
CindyHallas.com.
That's where
Well,
you get it.
speaking of, how do people reach you? They want to buy a vacation home, and you're not just licensed in Las Vegas. You work
Nope.
in multiple states, correct?
I do, yes. I think I'm licensed in 10 or 11 states. I can't remember now. But
Awesome.
yes, I'm in multiple states. But if our company's licensed in all 50 states, so if I'm not licensed there, one of my team members
Nice.
is. So
Okay.
we've got you covered.
Yes. And you guys can get her exclusive program that they have with their company and save on those fees for vacation homes. And that's always, we love money saved
Yep.
and love not having to spend so much on those loan fees. So that's a great option too.
Yeah.
How do people reach you?
You can reach me on my phone number or my mobile 602-793-9061, or you can email me at Hallas, and that's HALLAS, at CMGHomeLoans.com, or you can go to CindyHallas.com, my website.
And Cindy, you have a podcast?
I do. Oh my gosh. This is just something I do for fun. It's on the side. It's called Beyond the Pitch. I'm a part of the coaching staff for the UWS soccer team. That's a women's professional soccer in Arizona. And so we do a podcast called Beyond the Pitch, and it talks about all things with soccer, off the field, on the field, everything.
Yeah.
So it's really fun.
So soccer fans, check her out.
Yeah, definitely check her out. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yes,
All
I
right,
love
Trish,
it.
if somebody wanted to buy their vacation home here in Vegas and they wanted a beautiful realtor who is smart, who is knowledgeable, and also a certified second home specialist.
Oh yes, yes,
Oh, yeah.
we took a certification course on this.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, you can call me at 702-308-2878. And if they want a smart, beautiful, intelligent realtor who is certified not only in vacation homes, but you are getting the certification for
Certified international property specialist.
yes,
So vacation homes, second homes all over the world.
yes,
That's amazing.
anyone
Yeah,
from
it's awesome.
all over the world can contact this woman right here.
Yes, the
and
whole world is
how
my
do they get a
oyster.
hold of you?
702-379-9948 is my cell. You can give me a call or shoot me a text, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about what real estate looks like in your future and how I can help you out.
Yes, thank you. And if you guys are watching the show, please take a moment, like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep following us. We're here every Thursday. And follow us on Instagram. It is realtycheck.vegas, which is the same as our website address. So
Yep.
you can type that in your Google browser and you'll find us everywhere, and follow us. We do little clips and highlights from the show on there, and
we appreciate the support.
we appreciate the support and communication.
Yep.
We always answer messages, sometimes not right away, but I always answer social media messages. Direct
Yep.
messages, I will get back to you immediately. And social media, I check a couple times a day because I want to not stay on social media all day long.
Squirrel.
Yes. So thank you guys. See you next week.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys. Have a great week.
Bye.